We're doing a massive toy giveaway today, so stick around for more details. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be ranking fictional girl boss characters. If you've been around the last few months, then you know that I've had this idea on the back burner for a while, and originally I thought I was going to do it during Women's History Month, but then I decided to do it during AAPI month because I am an AAPI woman. Girl bossery is a way of being. It's a vibe, but for the sake of this video, when we think of girl boss fictional characters, we think of the girlies who slay and the girlies who are supposed to slay but don't quite slay. You know, like we think of Katniss Everdeen, Elle Woods, etc. And I want you all to know before I get into this video that it's not that serious. I want you guys to have fun, and if anything, maybe this video will get you thinking about what makes the writing of a female character good and what makes it bad, because Lord knows we need better written women in fiction. I remember seeing a lot of things circulate online after Madam Web came out about how it killed the girl boss character, which I don't know is true. I see a lot of criticism of the strong female lead, and a lot of that criticism is very fair. When I find issues with girl boss characters, usually I can tell that there's an executive behind the character that doesn't give a shit about the cultural response to horribly written women in fiction. So they just give us this one-dimensional, depthless, bland female character that just happens to be physically strong. And I am here to show you girl bosses like that and girl bosses I love. And a girl boss I love would appreciate a bi-woman company that promotes sexual wellness like Bellesa. The vibes are immaculate today, pun intended, because of Bellesa for sponsoring today's video. My friends at Bellesa and I are literally giving away free vibrators and free gift cards for vibrators to everyone who signs up to my giveaway. As I said, Bellesa is a bi-woman company for all things sexual wellness. Bellesa's mission is to empower everyone to embrace, explore, and celebrate their sexuality. Introducing Bellesa's Pebble. Suction and vibration controlled independently, ergonomically built to fit perfectly in your hand, and no annoying pattern modes. This one is called the Air Vibe, dual stimulation, G-spot, and clit, comes in the most discreet casing, like, is it a compact mirror? Is it powder? Is it blush? No. No, it is not. Also waterproof, rechargeable, and silent but deadly. And in a good way. And finally, this one is the Thump, and it is the toy that does it all. Vibrates, suctions, and thumps. Designed to be the de facto replacement for all external stimulation. Also waterproof, also fits and charges in this discreet case. Not to mention USB rechargeable and made from premium quality silicone, because you deserve absolutely nothing but the best. If you would like free toys or free gift cards for toys, make sure that you go to the link in the description of this very video, because everyone who signs up to my giveaway with Bellesa wins something. So make sure you go check that out, and thank you again to Bellesa for sponsoring today's video. So I asked you guys for your most and least favorite girl boss characters a while ago, so I put a bunch of them that I am familiar with on this list. I was also looking up who else people consider girl boss characters, and I was looking through those lists and couldn't help but notice that on like sites like Elle that have those lists that are like 25 girl boss characters in TV that we love, it was really lacking some melanin. Like, okay, sounds about white, but even I was thinking about this and I was like, wow, women of color really deserve more characters. Like, I already knew this, but like, wow, we really don't have a lot of characters. I mean, preferably I'd love for them to be well written, but we just need more in general too. So this list I have is like a mixture of characters that I personally find are girl bosses, characters that you guys find are girl bosses, and characters that the general internet, I guess, considers girl bosses as well. As for the tiers, we have 4 of them this time. At the top is master's degree in girl bossery with a PhD in serving, inspired by yours truly. I do have both degrees, thank you. This is for the ultimate girl boss characters. They are my favorites, I love them, and they have good arcs. Second is okay girl boss for the characters that I also really like, but maybe they're lacking a little something. They just don't fully do it for me, or there's something that makes me not want to put them with my favorites, but they're still good. Getting into the questionable territory, we have girl boss too close to the sun, which means they probably have something I see the appeal in, but ultimately there's probably one or a few things I didn't like about them, or they were ultimately not written well. And bottom tier is girl flop, which means I don't like the character and their story, their arc. There's nothing there for me. Did not have me for a second. And first on this list, this is a weird order. But okay, first on this list is Annabeth Chase from the Percy Jackson series. And I mean all versions of Annabeth, okay, because they are all my Annabeth. I mean, she's the daughter of Athena, come on, like the other characters would literally be dead without her. She held up the way of the sky, she got through the labyrinth, she found the mark of Athena, she survived Tartarus. That's probably a whole lot of nothing to people who don't know anything about Percy Jackson, but trust me, Annabeth is that bitch. She's also a flawed hero, her fatal flaw is her pride. But if you don't like Annabeth, I don't trust you. Like, I just don't. I don't make the rules. You are not to be trusted. Annabeth belongs nowhere else but the top tier. Next is, but of course, Katniss Everdeen. Queen led a revolution. I feel like a lot of people are like, Katniss is such a girl boss because she doesn't have time for men. When it's like, actually, she didn't have time for men because people are literally dying, Kim.
What's wrong with you guys? My diamond earring came off in the ocean. My diamond earring's gone. Kim, there's people that are dying.
She was kind of forced to take on the role of being a leader, but damn was she a good one. And she served every look too. Katniss is one of those characters who's like literally the strong woman. Like she is a literal fighter and warrior, but also I love her character. She's so funny in the books. Her dry sense of humor is impeccable. She also deserves to be nowhere else but the top. Next is Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. If you haven't watched this movie, you absolutely need to have a girls' night and watch this movie. This goes into the category of movies that Jennifer Coolidge is in that absolutely slays. I feel like even if you haven't watched this movie, you know that Elle Woods got into Harvard and was like, what, like it's hard? She went bend, snap, and serve. Is she a Gemini? Yes, but she is also a feminist icon, and I love that for her. I also love that her and Vivian became friends, and they both realized that Warner isn't good enough for the both of them, and this movie is so girl boss, and Elle is so girl boss, so she also belongs at the top. Again, this is a weird order. I don't know how these images uploaded in this order, but yeah, we're starting out with 3 at the top. Now we've got Lucy Gray from the Hunger Games prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, as requested by a few of you guys. Honestly, she is more clever and resourceful in the book, but she did win the Hunger Games in heels, and that should count for something. I don't know if she's top tier girl boss though. She's cunning, and she's like the opposite of Katniss in the way that she only survived getting help from Snow and being clever enough to know how to use the tools that he gave her, and also doing the one thing that Katniss was never good at or never willing to do, and that is perform and put on a show. Like, she's intelligent, she wouldn't have been able to escape and flee if she wasn't. I just don't know if there's anything else that makes her really girl boss to me. Like, she doesn't have that je ne sais quoi, so I'm gonna put her in the second tier. Ooh, and next is a very popular girl boss character, and that is Amy Dune from Gone Girl. Look, I can't put her at the top because I don't condone violent crimes. Just wanted to, like, make that known. But damn, did she do the things that she set out to do. Also, I forgot if this was in the movie, but it was definitely in the book. The cool girl monologue, it's so relatable and so brilliant, and I was like, damn, I'm not rooting for you, but also I'm not rooting for you. Obviously, she is a psychopath, but she's still a character that at some points really resonate with women. She's kind of like a likable villain more than an unlikable protagonist, but she's a girl boss nonetheless. She is so girl boss. So I'm gonna put her in the second tier as well. Now we've got Hermione Granger from the Harry Potter series. Again, a very predictable girl boss character to have on this list. She is adjacent to Annabeth Chase in the sense that they are both wise girls. The main protagonist would be dead without them. Hermione has like all the admirable qualities. Like, she's courageous, she's smart, she's independent, she's empathetic. She cared more about inequality and injustice than the other characters, to be honest. She was the blueprint to bookworm girlies that grew up in the late 90s and 2000s, so you know by now she was formative in my childhood, so I have to put her at the top. Now we are moving over to Gossip Girl, and the first girl boss I have in Gossip Girl is Blair Waldorf. Okay, so I understand that she's supposed to be like Queen Bee. She is the cool, powerful, popular girl that ruled the school and was an absolute girl boss in adulthood. Like, I understand that she is an icon to the Gossip Girl audience. I never got that, and I still don't really get that. I don't think she's that great. Like, she was elitist and misogynist and a bully. Like, she has a lot of iconic quotes that are very feminist out of context, but when you put it in the context of the show, her feminism is very selective. I really wish the writers had her grow more as a person or given her better character development, because there were like multiple things that they only really scratched the surface of that I feel like would have made her a more sympathetic character or given her more depth, like her issues with her mom and also with food. Like, they don't really do a lot with that, or they didn't do enough with it. Instead, she's like a rich mean girl who's way more sympathetic to Chuck than she should have been. Not to say she doesn't work hard though, like people love her and I get it, I respect it. If you are someone who loves Blair Waldorf, I see you, I hear you, however, I'm not with you. But hey, she's not the worst, so I'm gonna put her in Girl Boss Too Close to the Sun. And of course, the other girl boss character I have on this list from Gossip Girl is Serena van der Woodsen. To me, she's not girl boss enough simply for throwing away her phone in the middle of the street for absolutely no reason at all. I feel like she's constantly giving nothing. Like, she's a terrible friend and sister and is just very selfish. Okay, well, everyone in Gossip Girl to me is terrible, okay? But like, Serena stands out in the sense that like she's always doing the most and then she never takes accountability for her actions. Every time she does something heinous, she's like, I gotta go.
Sorry, I gotta run. Okay, I'm gonna go. I should go.
Like, why they do that to her character? Why? She may have always girl bossed outfits, but that's just Blake Lively, so sorry girl, you're going at the bottom. Next up is Brooke Davis from One Tree Hill. Guys, the One Tree Hill recap is coming. I swear, it's coming. I promise. My work in progress, my document of like notes and things for this video is 25 pages long at this point. I want it to be really good and perfect, but it's happening, I swear. But Brooke Davis is the ultimate girl boss. For a show that has the grossest, slimiest man of a showrunner, they really did slay with Brooke Davis. And we have Sophia Bush to thank for that. Brooke goes from being this mean party girl who seeks male validation to being this independent, incredibly caring and loyal partner, friend, mom, entrepreneur, etc., etc. We delve into her home life in the show, her relationship with each of her parents, and also her relationship with sex and boys and such. And then we see her form close bonds with other women, and she has a passion for advocacy, and she becomes class president. And guys, she invented ride sharing. Like, she literally, in 2004, in the show, invented Uber. Like, hello? She also very iconically dumped a man for being homophobic in 2004, no less. Her development as a character is just like chef's kiss, so top tier. And next is Rory Gilmore from Gilmore Girls. So I understand that Rory is very intelligent and very hardworking. She got into the big three Ivies, Harvard, Yale, and Princeton. Clearly I didn't go to an Ivy. At the same time, Rory had a lot handed to her and made the same really bad choices, like her repeated pattern of cheating, choosing guys, dropping out. I think she got arrested at some point. Am I making that up? She doesn't really get the consequences she deserves, so she doesn't exactly grow as a character. In fact, I think most people would agree that she kind of regressed. And like, she shouldn't be portrayed as perfect. I don't think a good character has to be perfect, and I think it's perfectly fine that she is a flawed character, and I don't hate her. I just think that the writers really fumbled with making her regress as a character and making her increasingly more unlikable and entitled and spoiled. It would have been better if she'd gotten more self-awareness and they'd actually given her that arc. Like, why were you regressing and then not progressing again? What was the reason? So, the bottom. Now we have Emily Cooper from Emily in Paris. Oh girl. Watch my Emily in Paris season 3 video. What is there not to say about Emily Cooper? She goes to France to work for a marketing firm and doesn't bother to learn the customs or the language. She has a very America-centric mindset and she offended the Ukrainians. I'm so sorry about that, by the way. She manages to somehow be more successful than the people around her by not doing that much more. She sleeps with her friends' boyfriends and cheats on her own boyfriend. Like, Emily in Paris is so entertaining, but she's got to go at the bottom. Now moving on to my girl boss character picks from Avatar: The Last Airbender, starting with Katara. I always appreciated Katara for being the depiction of a girl who works really hard and grows into her own as a strong woman, instead of a strange forced cliche that we see really often. Like, she's very good at waterbending, but we also see her work really hard to get better and overcome her challenges. Not some gender-defying, inexplicable talent that she's somehow like stronger than everyone else. On top of that, the show does a really good job exploring her personal challenges, like the loss of her mother and also the pressure of being one of the only waterbenders left in the Southern Water Tribe, and her resilience and personal growth here makes her such a girl boss. I would put her in okay girl boss because I think Avatar: The Last Airbender has a girl boss that girl boss is even harder, and that is Azula. She's intelligent, she's strategic, she's pretty much a prodigy, she has her own girl boss crew. Like, hello? Did she have a mental breakdown and her mental health deteriorated? Well, yes, However, I think she's a girl boss on top of these qualities for also being a very complex character. Being raised in a cult of power with the parents she had, it made sense that her biggest problem was that she operated on a mindset where she was trying to figure out how to constantly use the world rather than experience it. Also, she single-handedly took over bossing Say. Like, that itself is very girl boss. She was a very good antagonist, but a girl boss nonetheless, and I am putting her at the top. Next on this list is Leslie Knope from Parks and Recreation. Leslie is a girl boss in a very straightforward way. She is a leader in the Department of Parks and Recreation in Pawnee, Indiana. She works very hard, she gets shit done, she cares a lot about people and the impact that she has on her community. Do I fully agree with the wall of women she idolizes? Not really. She's also not a very good listener, but you know what? She makes up for that in passion and good intentions. Plus, Galentine started famously becoming a thing from a Parks and Rec episode where she invented it, and that is one of the most girl boss things you could possibly do. I think she deserves the okay girl boss tier because, again, she's not my favorite and she doesn't have that, like, oomph, but she's solid. And now for some reason, I have two characters from Riverdale on this list, starting with Veronica Lodge. So I barely keep up with Riverdale. Like, I watched all of season 1 and I watched a handful of episodes throughout the rest of the show out of order. One of my best friends and I did this thing for a while where we would choose an episode at random and watch it with no context and see how much we could follow it. So I feel like my knowledge of Riverdale is very sparse but adequate. And Veronica Lodge is a character that the writers try to make girl boss, but it doesn't give girl boss. Like, she owns a speakeasy and casino and theater, she outsmarts her dad, she helps them save their local diner, but she's also filthy rich and says a lot of questionable things. I just can't ever forget her trying out for the cheerleading squad and saying, "You wanted fire? Sorry, Cheryl Bombshell. My specialty is ice." And thank God in Gucci. I just need whoever the CW hires to put in their writers' rooms to know that making a character a rich girl doesn't mean she's a girl boss. So I feel like Veronica should go at the bottom. And I felt that I had to also rank Cheryl Blossom from Riverdale. Cheryl is not that great either. She really isn't, and she definitely has the wildest shit going on the show at all times. At least from what I've watched. I don't even know a good character arc she's had, but you know what? At least she has Phoenix powers. And she quite literally girl boss too close to the sun because she has pyrokinesis. So just for that, I'm gonna put her in girl boss too close to the sun. Okay, the next character on my list is Davy from Never Have I Ever. And I know that people are probably gonna be like, girl, what? She's not a girl boss. But hear me out. Girlie did what she sought out to do. Like, from the get-go, in season 1, she wanted Paxton, and she ended up dating Paxton. She did the deed before she graduated like she wanted to, and she got into Princeton. And she was valedictorian. Like, she lived her life to the fullest. Did she struggle? Yeah. Did she make mistakes?
No, you racist. I'm not Anissa. I don't run fast. I'm not cool. And I don't eat like one crumb of brownie because I'm straight up anorexic, okay?
Yeah, but she did it, and she worked through her issues in therapy. Honestly, her character was very rough in the first 2 seasons, but she grew so much. She has such a special place in my heart, so I think she belongs in OK Girl Boss. Now on this list, I have Annalise Keating from How to Get Away with Murder. Annalise is played by Viola Davis, so maybe I'm biased because I love Viola Davis. She is absolutely a girl boss herself. Keating is a defense attorney and law professor, and she clearly has exceptional achievements, commanding respect and leadership. And it's been a while since I watched the show, but I remember loving her because she's so successful, she is so well respected, she cares a lot about protecting people, especially marginalized people, but she's also ruthless. And then you start to watch more of the show and you realize that she is very morally imperfect. She doesn't always win cases the right way. She has committed crimes, which again, I don't condone, just wanted to put that out there. But she's also a very multidimensional character. Like, she's an anti-hero. She's definitely one of the most complex characters I've seen in a show, and hats off to Viola Davis for being able to portray her perfectly. So I'm gonna put her at the top because she's a very well-written character. Now we have Janine from Abbott Elementary. I love Janine. I love her so much. She's so funny and charming and awkward, but in a way that I relate to a lot. She's absolutely girl boss. She is a fantastic teacher, and she's always trying to help people and make Abbott Elementary a better place. She started out as a teacher with a well of ideas on how to improve the school, and then she got a fellowship with the district because of her good ideas, and she actually started making some change. And oh my god, the season 3 finale, I'm going to need to start sending invoices to Quinta Brunson from my doctor's visits because she is killing me. I'm gonna put her at the top because I love Janine. If you don't like Janine, I do not trust you. I don't know how you could be like like that. But yeah, she's going at the top. Next is Maddie Perez from Euphoria. Yes. I feel like I saw a lot of people calling her a girl boss when season 2 came out, because Maddie is really confident and she differs from all the other girls on the show in the sense that she knows who she is and she will carry herself that way regardless of how she's feeling that day. Regardless of whether she's feeling insecure, she will always carry herself that way. And everyone was like, yes, absolutely, she's a queen. And then when she found out that Cassie was sleeping with Nate, she absolutely ate her up, and everyone was also like, yes, yes, girl boss, go off. I have to say though, they really fumbled her character. Like, I definitely feel like we were getting somewhere in season 1 where we got the episode where we got her backstory, but then she pretended to be unconscious in the pool at that one party. And in season 2, they didn't really do anything with her besides that babysitter storyline with Minka Kelly, and also, what was that? They gave us nothing. And it's not even like I dislike Maddie, they just really lost me with the writing for her character, so she's going in the 3rd tier. Now we have Black Widow, and I know that Black Widow is the only superhero I have on this list, but it's because I saw her in particular in every girl boss character list, and I was like, okay, let's discuss. Because I think she fulfills the criteria for being a girl boss, but Marvel did her so dirty. For years, she was over-sexualized, very male gaze. She was the only female Avenger that had a flirtatious chemistry with half of them that was very random and never went anywhere. So they were only like really doing that because they were like, this is hot. And her arc came too late, like literally too late, because it came after her character had died. Her ending too, like what? That was not a proper ending, and she didn't even get a funeral. She just could have been so much more, and like her arc was cut short before it was even complete, and it was already so slow in the making. So I'm gonna put her in the 3rd tier simply because of that lost potential there. 3rd to last is Tahani from The Good Place. Tahani is a rich British philanthropist, and she is such a girl boss because she has really done it all. But she also starts out the show as a total asshole. Like Jamila Jamil herself was like, Tahani is insufferable. She's so annoying. But what I love about Tahani, and honestly The Good Place in general, is that all these characters spend their whole lives being absolutely terrible people until they die. And then they spend the show in the afterlife essentially deconstructing everything that they've done wrong, and then they become better people. Like Tahani realizes that she spent her whole life only doing good deeds for validation, and that really tainted who she is as a person. And then by the end of the show, she wants to actually do good things for the sake of being good, so she becomes an architect of the afterlife. If you haven't seen The Good Place, this probably sounds confusing as hell, but I promise you it's good, and Tahani as a character deserves to go under okay girl boss. 2nd to last, I thought I'd rank Rachel Chu from Crazy Rich Asians. She went to Stanford, then Northwestern, and then became a professor in economics at NYU by 29. Like, forget PhD in serving. She probably has a literal PhD. And only a girl boss would be able to survive the heinous trip that Nick put her on without any information about his family. Like, what? But she is specifically very girl boss for the scene where she's playing mahjong with Michelle Yeoh's character. So I'm gonna put her in okay girl boss as well. And lastly, we have Tris from Divergent. Girl, you already know I am not a Divergent stan. I am not a Tris stan. She's just bland. Like, her only personality trait is trying to be the 2013 quintessential girl boss character, but she's only really good at combat, and then anything else to her character, there's just nothing there. I'm sorry. I'm not. But like, I'm sorry. She's just in this list because I've seen her on every list, and she pops up so much when it comes to girl boss characters, and I'm like, nope, not her. She's going at the bottom. And that is my ranking of girl bosses. This last tier, that seems right. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, if you guys would rank the characters I ranked somewhere else, or if there are characters that I didn't mention that I might not be as familiar with, where they would go if you were to rank them. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, that would be the girl boss thing to do. And thank you so much to Balesa again for sponsoring this video.